Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Movie Kid podcast. I'm your host, Kit Bowen. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about one particular movie coming out this weekend, but also another film that's coming out as well. And joining me in the conversation is my very good friend, Joel Amos. Joel, how are you today?
I'm quite well, thank you very much.
Good. Okay, so the big movie coming out this weekend is Sinners, which is from writer-director Ryan Coogler, who is kind of turning into one of my favorite filmmakers. Well, I shouldn't say that because I don't love everything. I didn't really love Creed, but that's only because it's just me. I'm not a big boxing movie fan. But anyway, this one though, I think, in my opinion, is one of his best. Let me read the description here. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. The two brothers are played by Michael B. Jordan in two separate roles. Really great job that he did with that. Also, we've got Miles Catton, Jack O'Connell. Who's the actress that I love from Lovecraft? I'm gonna get her name here in just one second. Uh, Wanumi Masuku. Also, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Hailee Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo, and a great part, as well as many others in the cast. But I'm going to let Joel start us off. What did you think of Sinners, Joel?
You know, in an age where people complain about originality coming out of
Right.
Hollywood, I think people should be flocking to see this. And actually, by the early Thursday numbers, they are. Thank goodness. And we might have our first real hit of the year um, because you got a crossroads of, a great filmmaker and a great actor who he's worked with many times, and a story that I think people are hungry for right now. And a thrill ride and escape, kind of a popcorn movie in a way. And I just thought that Michael Jordan was incredible in those two roles, and that is no easy feat. And Delroy Lindo, I mean, when is that guy not just like a
I
scene
know.
stealer? I mean, I think he should win an Oscar for The Five Bloods, the Spike Lee
Oh
movie about
yeah.
Vietnam, but he did win a Gold Globe. But Sinners is just so original, and to me, further cements Ryan Coogler as a premier storyteller. You might
Yes.
not enjoy all of his stories, or you might not have put everything all together, but you got to give the guy credit. Everything is completely original, and I immediately was drawn to him with Fruitvale Station again with Michael Jordan, um, and that he took a story where you knew the ending and it was tragic, but he still wrapped you up in it and still had you in tears at the end. And he's just only gotten better since then. And this I think is this. Not that he needs a coming out party. I mean, we're talking about the guy who directed Black Panther, but uh, I think in terms of originality, like this is his baby. He wrote it, he directed it, he produced it. I mean, I think this is an announcement for a guy who could have been pigeonholed, stereotyped as making a certain kind of movie. And I think this just opens a million doors. He can go anywhere he wants to go from here, and he write his own ticket.
Yeah. I too felt that this was his best effort. The thing about him that's Ryan Coogler that's so great is that he tends to tell different stories about, the black experience, the black culture,
Hmm.
I mean, from Black Panther to Creed. I mean, it's all great. And this one, it really, sort of encapsulates some of that as, it's particular that it's set in 1932. So we've got, in Mississippi. So we've got the racism, we've got, all of those things that are part of that time. But what I love so much about this movie, like you said, the originality of it, because I mean, I'm not really giving too much spoilers away because it's pretty much in the trailer, but and there's a supernatural element. There's vampires, right? So
Yes, yes.
you're like thinking, okay, so it's going to be kind of a vampire movie, but it's not even close to being a vampire movie. It is about really, in my thought process, it's about music. It's about at the very beginning of the movie, again, my slight spoiler, but not really. there's a sort of explanation to the fact of how there are people who possess a gift to change communities, to bring communities together, to bring culture through music. That they have this gift to play or sing or whatever the case may be, and that throughout all history and time, in different cultures and different places, there have been people who have been revered in this way. But at the same time, because they have such power in what they're doing with their talents, I guess, their music, that it can bring evil. It can have evil come knocking. So that's what I thought was so fascinating about this movie is that, it's these two brothers who, they have kind of a mysterious past, but you come to find out that they might have been gangsters in Chicago, but they left their small town and now they've come back and they want to, open up this juke joint out in the sticks, for everyone to enjoy blues or whatever. And Delroy Lindo, like you said, just so great. He plays a musician as well, and then there's the kid who plays, who's their cousin, the brother's cousin. His name's Preacher Boy Sammy, and he's played by Miles Catton. He was really great, and he's the one who possessed the gift. But then you've got Jack O'Connell, who sort of is the epitome of the evil side of what this story is about. But he also is about music. So it's like his whole modus is to try to get to Sammy. And I don't know, I just thought all of it was so brilliant. You've got the dynamics of being in 1932 and being, African American and all of that, and you've got the music, and then you've got this supernatural element to it. It was just, and it worked. you know you would think maybe that all of those sort of combinations might not work, but this totally worked. And and the way he shoots it as well, the way he films it, it's so atmospheric and such a great feel to it and look to it. And um I guess apparently he shot it for IMAX, so I think there's
Yeah,
some stuff in there that you might miss if you don't get a chance to see it in IMAX. So I did.
I did.
Yeah, so I highly recommend trying to see it in IMAX if you can. But you'll still get an amazing movie going experience. Now, my question to you is, do you think this might have Oscar legs? Because I personally think it should be nominated for at least a few things. What do you think?
Um, first of all, back up real quick is
Yeah,
when I was looking at the times to pick out, which show I was going to go to, and it's different when you pick a movie, and you choose the IMAX screen. But when that
right.
actual detail says Sinners shot in IMAX, I was like, oh, okay, well then I better go to this one. So look for that. If you're looking for the
Yeah,
IMAX theater in your town, like look for it to say Sinners shot in IMAX. That's your IMAX screening. And
yeah.
because normally it doesn't really label it, it just happens to be in IMAX. But I think so. I mean, we've got
Don't you agree though that this so far, I mean, I feel like this is a top-notch Oscar
I
worthy
mean,
movie
I
of
hear
the
a
year.
lot of people saying, it's the best movie of the year, and then other people commenting below, well, it's only April.
Yeah, I
And
know.
then saying like, yes, but I can also see what's coming. And at least for the first half of the year, this is absolutely going to be the best thing we see.
Yeah.
Um, and if you get to that point and you are the winner of the first half of the year, then I tend to think that you reserve a spot in the consideration pile at least.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that
Well,
he's got the pedigree.
yep.
I think Jordan is definitely uh, playing two roles. Like it's weird. It's like you want to nominate him for playing the two roles, but he'd have to be nominated for each role. Um, and that's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
anyway, I just yeah, I think it really does, and I think that it's judging by its response, like the response from audiences and actually the response from critics, that I think this is one of these movies that audiences are hungry for something good, something original. Critics are hungry for something good and original, and
Yeah.
they're in a chorus right now between the two of them. And I just think if that happens, that it echoes through the year. It's gonna, I mean, and if you get people start to saying, this is the benchmark now, like we're
Yeah,
comparing everything else that comes out from the rest of the year to this until
right.
something else tells us that it's better or equal. And I think, yeah, I think, and there are a million examples, but like Whiplash came out in April. Like I
Yeah.
think
And
there
you
are,
have to think about some of the stuff that came out of Sundance over the years that ended up, like Little Miss Sunshine or something like that, that ended up lasting
mhm.
out too. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it does. I think, and uh, there's an acting award. There should be some writing awards. There's
Certainly the sound and maybe even I think that was an original song, maybe. I'm not sure about that,
yes,
but
yeah. He usually uses original songs in his
so
flicks.
oh my God.
Um,
Well, I just want to say again, I don't want to there is one scene in there concerning music when the kid plays that I thought was the most brilliant scene I had seen in a very long time. It was so operatic and what's the word I'm thinking of? What's a ballet? Like it was like a ballet, watching a ballet,
yeah,
you know? You know what I'm talking about? Which thing I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
it's
I think what I don't know if they can, but to me, I like saw that scene. And I'm like, there's your Oscar scene.
there's your Oscar
Like,
theme, right?
when they show the little clip
Totally.
or whatever, I'm like, there's your Oscar scene. I mean, that was like the first thing I thought of.
You know what? This is going to make money too. That's
Oh
another
yeah,
great
oh yeah,
plus to it.
yes.
I saw it with a packed
Hmm.
house,
Hmm. Ditto.
and they applauded at the end of it.
Hmm.
So I think what's Ryan has done, which is so brilliant, is he has made this sort of like a blues type film or of that era, but with that supernatural thrown into it, that's where you're going to get a lot of the audience because they
Hmm.
already know, oh, there's vampires. That's cool. So
Hmm.
it's like we didn't
Well,
really need the vampires, but at the same time, they were it like I said, it fit.
yeah. Well, I can kind of. I mean, I think it's a reach, but just listen, hear me out. It really kind of reminds me of Get Out, and not in how it's
Yes,
scary and not how it's
Jordan Peele.
whatever.
Yes,
It's a writer director telling a story that's about a lot more than the horror aspect. But
right.
he always stated that he loved horror because it's a way of delivering a message to an audience without hitting them over the head. But at the same time, it's pretty damn clear what this movie is really about.
Yes, yes, because vampires are they suck, right? So
Yes, they
that's their
suck
power.
the
They
life out of
suck
you.
they suck the life out of you, right? And
Yes.
so in this, I'm not going to give it away, but in this, it's more than just your life that this
Mm-hmm.
vampire wants to suck out of you.
I
And I
know.
just thought that was so, I don't know, it
Hmm.
really was just quite
Yes.
something, quite
That's why
something.
I feel like it's like in that Get Out vein. Like it makes
Yes,
you think.
it
Um,
makes you think.
it's it's not just there for the spook and the jump
Nope,
scare,
nope, nope, not
and
at
that's
all.
how you get people. That's how you
Yeah,
get them.
but you're getting the people in there because they think they're going to see a vampire movie, and they
Hmm.
are, but they're
And
going
they
to see
are,
much more than that. Yeah.
and they're just
So
gonna see
go for
my
the vampire. If you're into vampire
yeah,
movies, definitely go see it because it's got that element. But just know it's a
and
lot more
Michael B.
going on.
Jordan is Mr. Badass.
Oh man, he's fantastic. Oh, the whole cast was fantastic.
Yeah.
The whole cast
Yep.
was fantastic.
Yep.
Anyway, 5 stars for me.
5.
Boom.
I,
Boom. All
yeah.
right.
It's
Okay,
a
so now here's another
cinematic
one.
mic
Here's
drop.
yep, cinematic mic drop. Boop. So here's another one that I don't know. You'll have to tell me if it's Oscar worthy or not, but it is sort of a follow up to last year's Civil War. It's Alex Garland, once again, writer, director, also with Ray Mendoza, so co directed and co wrote. And it's called Warfare. And I did see the trailer for this. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see it, but you did. And it looked pretty intense. Let me read the description. A platoon of Navy SEALs embark on a dangerous mission in Ramadi, Iraq, with the chaos and brotherhood of war retold through their memories of the event. Uh, it is a pretty great cast. We've got Will Poulter, Joseph Quinn, Cosmo Jarvis, let's see, Michael Gandolfini's in it, and some other people. Those are the ones I recognize the most. Um, but let us know what was how was Warfare.
Here's the thing you got to know about Warfare. Warfare Center is a true story, like
Okay.
through and through, and it's told in real time. It's 100 minutes, most harrowing 100 minutes you will ever experience in your life, and I do not say that lightly. Ray Mendoza, the co-director and writer of this film, co-writer of this film, this is what he lived through
Wow.
as an officer in a regiment in Iraq when they were in a town and they were pinned down, surrounded by enemies. And you feel every shot, you hear every shot, you feel every explosion, you feel the screaming, the yelling of the injured, the panic, the terror, the chaos of not knowing what's around any corner, not knowing whether air support is coming in, knowing whether you'll ever get home. Also, at the same time, some of the most extraordinary action war sequences you'll ever see in your life. It honestly had me thinking that some of the stuff that Spielberg did in Saving Private Ryan was like a trip through the first part of Disneyland. Like is
Wow. Well,
this this
how about like who am I thinking of? Um who did Black Hawk Down? Oh, Ridley Scott.
oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
how this is what it kind of reminded me of is Black Hawk Down. Is a little
But
like that, right?
yeah, except like Garland and Mendoza just like put you in it.
Hmm.
Like you are one of these soldiers. And at the same time, he does an incredible job of getting you to care about each and every one of these guys and do so in a very quick manner
Hmm.
because the action takes no time starting and the wounded start getting hurt immediately. And so you get attached to these people and then you are just emotionally tied to them throughout the 100 minutes. And it's, they say that war is hell. And I think this is the most apt cinematic description of that sentiment I have ever seen. Um,
Well, I mean, I
and
guess these kind of movies have to evolve. It's right. I mean,
mhm.
we've seen just countless war movies, and they depending, but mostly they always do leave a mark. They leave an impact because it is horrible,
Mhm. Well, it's like
you know.
I remember when Private Ryan came out, they got
Oh,
such praise from veterans because two things. One, the sound a bullet makes when it goes by you, they had finally captured that correctly. And I thought that sound was one of the most haunting sounds I had heard.
haunting. Yeah,
And here it's almost amplified because the power of these weapons, I mean, those were the weapons of the 40s. These are the weapons of 2025,
yeah.
or well, actually 2006. And the light, the light that a bullet makes as it's flying through the air, that was a incredible thing that they finally had captured that right. Well, the light is flying everywhere here. Like you don't even know where to stand. You don't know where to lay. You don't know where to turn. I mean, it's just I'm not usually at a loss for words, but like I can't even do this movie justice with what I'm talking about because
Well, I
it
mean, it's like Civil War last year. I mean, you and I
yes, yes,
both
yes,
were
yes.
gutted by that and
Gobsmacked.
gobsmacked because that last sequence was, a battle.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure if I can sit through. At least it's only 100 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. This is I did a
It's
listicle
hard to watch
years
these
ago.
movies. It's
They're
hard.
like 15 movies you'll never watch again, and like I think Room was on there.
Oh yes,
It's like great, phenomenal movie, Oscar-winning movie. I'll never see that again.
no.
Um,
Schindler's List.
Schindler's
Absolutely,
List,
will
of
never
course,
ever see that
never.
again.
I've seen
Never.
it. That's fine. Um, and then these two Alex Garland movies. He's
Yeah, I
made these
know.
movies that just hit you right under the skin, and like I care not to go back to that, but man, he is a talent.
Yeah. Have you heard any? Has he talked about like why? I would just be curious if he's given any interviews on why he's right now so focused on war like that. I
When I saw
mean,
one where he spoke about the Civil War, bringing it to America, like, okay, this is actually something that can happen,
right.
and that it kind of fanned the flames of some people who wouldn't mind seeing that happen, and that was not at all his point.
No,
So the idea when he hooked up with Mendoza, the idea of bringing not just a war, but one particular battle that is
right.
such hell that no one would ever want to experience that. Be like, okay, you want a war? You want a civil war? Well, this is actually what life will be like. Are you sure you really want that?
Well, we hope
So,
people would pay attention to that, but
yeah,
I highly
yeah.
doubt it.
I think anybody that was pumped up by Civil War is going to be completely deflated by this movie, and
Yeah.
that's a good
Well,
thing.
I think, I will probably eventually see it because, I just have to. But maybe in the comfort of my home, I don't know. I mean, I was, I literally had to sit in the theater for a good 10 minutes after Civil War, just trying to absorb or just trying to process what I watched. And I felt the
Might
same
not
way
be.
after Saving Private Ryan. So I imagine this is going to hit me the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, and I'm not going to be a filmmaker's favorite person for saying this. And like, yes, okay, this is a kind of a movie you want to see on the big screen. But I got to be honest with you, the way that the movie is told, it's more of a gut punch. And those kind of movies can be experienced at home with our
Yeah.
giant TVs and our sound systems.
They
It's
can.
good enough, you know. And this again, it's
Well,
an
where
A24
you
movie.
can, yeah, where you can pause it for a second
Yes.
and go, oh, all right, let me catch my breath,
Consider, and
or
honestly, I think that'll make you appreciate the movie even more.
you think so?
Like taking a break, like just a break. And like, okay, I'm gonna get a drink. Okay, I'll come back. All right, let's go.
Uh,
Round two.
well,
Yeah.
I do love Will Poulter and Joseph Quinn, of course, playing
Joseph Quinn, man.
Americans.
Yeah.
Brits playing Americans. That's
Dude,
okay.
those two are great. Joseph's having a moment. He was just
He
cast as a
is.
Creole. Wow. It's
No.
it, it's good to be a Quinn right now.
I just uh I did watch day one again, not
Yeah.
too long ago, and he's so just breaks your heart on that one. I just thought they did
Hmm.
the two of them together, Nwang,
Hmm.
Lupita. And, anyway, so you would give this another 5 stars, Ben?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
double 5 day.
it's a double 5 day. It's high
Yeah.
10. It's a high
Yes.
10 day for
I 10
Joel Amos.
everybody. Well, after months of okay, occasional like wow, but like we got a two for two here.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Joel, for joining me, of course, as always. I'm not sure if we'll be able to jump on next week because I'm traveling, but I think Accountant 2 is a big movie coming out
Mhm.
next week, which I do
Yes.
want to see. So maybe we can just try to
Yeah.
talk about it afterwards. But also, I think what's the next biggie though is Thunderbolts. Is that the next?
Yeah.
Yeah, I I don't know. Look, you know us. You and I are both in the same boat. We always want to give Marvel a try, even though they've been disappointing us. But I don't know. This looks fun. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
And
wrong, but
I was totally shocked. I just came off a vacation with a little family reunion. My little 11-year-old niece, all she could talk about was 5 days was Thunderbolts. Like she's not the hugest Marvel person, but there's something about that movie and she's just like, I want to see this movie. So like who knows? Maybe
yeah,
there's
who
a
knows?
chord there
Who
they hit.
knows? Well, we'll definitely be able to do that one because I will be in town. But so anyway, so look forward to more stuff coming up, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and definitely two really good movies out this weekend at the Nurses, being very, very cool. So definitely check that one out. And Warfare if you're if you're game,
Yes.
if you want to go do that thing. So, all right. So we will see everyone soon, and take care. Bye bye.